Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer class for you with 0 props. If you don't have any props, don't worry, you do not need them today. Our focus is going to be upper body and core, so lots of arms, lots of abdominal work today. We are going to go ahead and get started with your foot bars all the way down. One heavy spring on your reformer. It is going to feel a little lighter than what you're used to. When we start with our core and our arm series, I do want it lighter just because we are going to go into a challenging ab and arm combo movement, and we don't want it too heavy for that. So I'm going to start with one heavy spring. If you want it heavier for your arms and abs, you can always go one heavy, one light spring, or even one heavy and one medium spring, but I'm staying on that one heavy today. And then we're just going to go ahead and lie ourselves down. Now, when we get down onto our reformers, our headrest can be up or down. That is up to you. I'm going to reach behind me and I'm going to grab my short loops into my hands. Now, again, it's going to feel a little lighter than what we're used to. Arms are going to go up to the ceiling. Hands should be right over shoulders. Knees go up into a tabletop position. I have my legs zipped together, and we're starting with ab curls. So on an exhale, we're going to press and curl ourselves right up into an abdominal curl, and then we're inhaling to return back down with control. Again, I'm exhaling to knot and curl myself up, and then inhaling to return back down with control. As I curl up, I'm bringing my chin towards my chest. I'm curling right to my bra line. I'm not collapsing in my low back. And then again, I'm inhaling, just return back down with control. Let's do a few more. Exhaling as we nod, curl. Inhale, return back down with control. We're gonna go ahead and just do 2 more ab curls here. And then on this last one, we're gonna hold ourselves right up into our curls. Now, from this ab curl, we're gonna open our arms out to a T. As we open our arms out to a T, shoulders and heads go back down into the mat. And then as we press our palms to our hips, we're gonna curl ourselves back up into that abdominal curl. So as I open my arms, shoulders, head go down. And then as I press my palms to my hips, I'm curling myself back up. Inhale, open and return. Exhaling again as we nod and curl right back to that bra line. We're going to feel our obliques working a little more here. Exhale, press, curl. Inhale again as we return back down. Let's do 3 more. All right, now on this last one, we are going to go ahead, pause at the top. Arms are gonna go up, shoulders, heads go back down, and then we can just go ahead and relax our feet back down. Now, we're gonna stick with those same 2 arm movements. We're gonna add in some legs with these. We are going to do our arms opening out to a T first rather than that reach and pull. So arms are gonna go back up to the ceiling, knees back up into that tabletop position. Our legs are zipped together. I'm gonna press curl myself back up into that one abdominal curl, hold myself here. And then as I open my arms out to a T, I'm gonna reach my right leg out to a challenging level. And then I can exhale, pull back in. Then I'm gonna go left leg as I open my arms, and I'm exhaling to pull back in for our single leg stretch. It's an inhale to open and extend, and an exhale again as we pull our legs all the way back in, feeling our lats and our biceps engaged. Now, last one with the left leg going out and in. And then once we come in, we're gonna go both legs out as we open the arms, and then we pull back in, double leg stretch. Open the arms, reach those legs out, exhale, pull back in. Those legs are staying zipped together. Inhale, open, exhale, press, drawing the abs in as we pull back in. Let's go for 2 more. Last one, then once we come back in, arms up, heads down, relax the feet, and again, we can just give ourselves a little stretch. We can sway our knees, we can hug them, we can stretch them, and then we're gonna change up the movement of the arms and the movement of our legs. So let's extend our arms back up to the ceiling, knees up into our tabletop position, legs go straight up to the ceiling. I'm gonna press curl myself back up into my abdominal curl, pause. Now, as I lower my right leg straight down, I'm gonna lift my arms up to the ceiling. This is why we're on a lighter spring. And then as I pull my arms down, I lift my right leg back up. So again, left leg now lowers as the arms go up, and then we lift the leg and we pull the arms down. It's an inhale to lower and lift, and an exhale to come back to the mat with those arms, to the ceiling with our legs. Let's do one more with the left leg. When we come up, ready, both legs lower as the arms lift. We lift the legs, we pull the arms down. 5 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift back up. Again, we're drawing those abs in towards our backs. For 2, scoop to lift. Last one. And then we can bend our knees, arms up, heads down, relax the feet. We are going to hang our straps back up onto the pegs. And then once we hang our straps up, let's sit off to the sides. Okay, now we are going to stay on this red or heavy spring. So if you don't have it on, go ahead, switch that heavy spring. Again, we're continuing with arms and abs. So I'm gonna kneel on my reformer, facing my foot bar. My feet are gonna be right up against the shoulder blocks. If this is too heavy, you can always go to a lighter spring. I'm gonna reach behind me and grab my loops into my hands. Now, long loops are lighter, short loops are heavier, so up to what loops you decide to use. Elbows are gonna be into our sides. We're stabilizing from our legs, glutes and core, and we're gonna kneel nice and tall onto our knees. On an exhale, I'm gonna reach my arms out to a challenging level. So think about chest, shoulder height, and then I'm gonna bend my elbows to come back in. So I'm gonna exhale, reach my arms out about chest, shoulder height, and then I'm inhaling to bend to come back in, feeling our lats and our biceps working. Exhaling as we reach, and then again, we're inhaling just to bend and return back in. Shoulders are down, collarbones are just staying nice and wide. Exhale away, inhale, return. Again, stability should be coming from legs, glutes, and core. I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 more. All right, last one, out and in. Okay, now once I come back in, I am going to change to my shorter loops just to make this a little heavier. We're gonna do bicep curls. So I'm gonna extend my arms long behind me. My elbows are gonna stay in the same spot. Palms are facing forward, and on an exhale, I'm just gonna curl in again. Keep your elbows behind you, and then extend your arms. Exhale to curl, inhale to extend. So again, I'm keeping my elbows technically behind my back, behind my ribs. They're not pulling forward like this. So I don't want you guys to do any of this. I want you to keep those elbows back. You're just bending and extending. Exhale to curl, and then inhaling as you extend. Now, if you want it heavier, you can always grip a little further back on your ropes. We're gonna be here for a little while. Okay, let's go ahead and do 3 more, 2, and then last one. Okay, now once we extend, we're gonna pause. We're gonna sit our booties back towards our heels. I'm gonna hang my straps back up onto the pegs, and then we are going to put our foot bars up to the starting position. So up at the starting position, our feet should already be up against the shoulder blocks. They stay there. Hands are gonna go onto the foot bar as always. Thumbs should be with your fingers. We are going to shift forward so my chest is right over the foot bar. I'm gonna lift my knees up, stretch my legs so I'm right up into a plank, and then we're doing long stretch. So the arms are gonna push our carriage away. Our arms are gonna pull the carriage in. We're gonna inhale to push, exhale to pull. The range of motion is up to you. Make sure your legs stay long. Our abs are in and our butts are down. Inhale, push, and exhale, pulling back in. Let's go ahead and just do 2 more. Last one. Now in this one, I want you to hold your arms out. Don't move your arms. You're gonna tuck your pelvis, hike your hips. So now the legs bring the carriage in and you push out. So the arms stay pushing you away. tuck pike with your legs, and then inhale, push back out. Again, my arms are not moving, so my chest is more over my springs, not over my foot bar. I'm tucking my pelvis, hiking my hips, scooping into my abs to lift, and then I'm pushing back out with control. Let's do just one more. Exhale, tuck pike, and then inhale out. Okay, lift the hips, slide those heels all the way down. Feel free to give yourselves a little bit of a stretch back. We're gonna do some push-ups now on our foot bars. If you don't feel comfortable on your toes for push-ups, come down onto your knees and do your push-ups on your knees rather than your toes. I'm gonna keep my hands wide, thumbs are still with my fingers. I'm gonna lift my heels back up high up onto my shoulder blocks. I'm pushing my carriage out, holding here. I'm pushing just slightly out with my arms so I don't feel like I'm gonna face plant forward. Let's do 8 wide push-ups. Bend wide, exhale, press. Range of motion is up to you. Again, you can do them on your toes or you can come down onto your knees. I have 3 more. Last one. And then lift, come in, drop those heels, and then just feel free to give yourselves a little bit of a stretch back. Now, the next time we go up, we're gonna do one more thing with our obliques. Feel free to give your wrists, shoulders a little bit of a roll. I'm going to, again, take my hands wide, thumbs with my fingers, lift my heels up, chest over the foot bar. I'm gonna push out. Okay, from here, our pelvis is gonna move. I'm gonna bring my right knee to my left elbow. I'm gonna set it back down. Left knee to right elbow, set it down again. The pelvis will shift. Exhale and inhale. Now, if you don't go back to the shoulder blocks with your feet, that is fine. I'm not getting quite back to my shoulder blocks. I want the focus to be on the rotation of the pelvis, pulling the knees to the opposite elbow. Exhale, inhale for 4, 3, and 1. Okay, lift, come in, step off to the left side of our reformers. Feel free to give your shoulders and necks a little bit of a roll. Back into some arms. We're gonna kneel on our reformers. Again, we stepped off to the left side. So when we kneel, we're gonna face technically the right side. So my right leg is up against my shoulder blocks. Left leg is closer to the foot bar. I'm gonna grab the strap that's right next to me. Long loop, again for arms lighter, or long loop heavier. Long loop lighter, short loop heavier. There we go. Long, light, short, heavy. So up to you. If you scoot further away from your shoulder blocks, it is heavier. If you're butted up against your shoulder blocks, it is lighter. So up to you where you are kneeling. We're gonna start with the right elbow into our ribs, bent at a 90, and my palm is just rotated out towards the right side. I have a little tension in this strap. Now from here, I'm gonna exhale and just pull my palm so it's across my body. And then I'm gonna inhale, open it back out towards the side. So I'm exhaling to go across my body, and then I inhale to open. Now I'm being mindful while I'm here. My shoulders and my hips are staying parallel to the wall in front of me, and the movement is just coming from that arm and that shoulder. Exhale, and then inhaling as I return again. If you want it heavier, you can go long, short loop. Cannot get that down today, or you can scoot closer to your foot bar. We're gonna do 2 more. All right, now on this last one, we're gonna hold the palm across our body. On an inhale, we're gonna let our elbow go out to the side. We're gonna keep it bent at a 90, and then we're gonna exhale and bring our palm back. So we're gonna inhale, let our elbow open out, and then exhale as we come back. Inhale, open, exhale to return. Now when I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep my right shoulder out of my ear. So as I let my elbow open out to the side, I'm not shrugging my right shoulder into my ear. I'm just letting it go out and in like a little hinge here. Let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. All right, now we're gonna switch. Same two movements. We're staying facing the same direction, but we're doing it with the left arm. So now the arm is across the body, bent at a 90. The work is on the way out. So we exhale to bring our arm out. The wrist stays long, the elbow stays into the ribs. We inhale to return. Exhale and inhale. This one's gonna be a little more challenging. Getting a little more into our rotator cuffs here. Try to keep those wrists long. If you need to change your straps, scoot closer to your shoulder blocks. You can always change your springs if you need to. We're gonna do 3 more. Shoulders, hips stay parallel to the wall in front of you, so try not to use momentum with your torso. Okay, now the last one we hold, we're gonna take our elbow, we're gonna go out to the side and then bring it back. Just imagine that you're nudging somebody next to you. Exhale, inhale again, just trying to keep that left shoulder again out of the ear. Shoulders, hips staying parallel to the wallet in front of us. Exhale out, inhale back for 3. And then last one. And then we can relax. Okay, now we are gonna keep this strap. We're gonna sit on our reformers facing the same direction that we were just facing. And then we're gonna stay on this one red or one heavy spring. I'm gonna take my long loop. It goes around my right leg, above my knee. And then I'm just gonna sit about center of my reformer here. I'm gonna scoot my butt as far forward as I can get it so I have plenty of space behind me. And then I'm just gonna carefully lie myself down onto my reformer. Now, when we're here, hands are gonna go behind our head. I'm gonna find a neutral spine. Elbows are gonna be open out nice and wide. The idea is that the carriage is gonna stay still. So we're stabilizing from this right side. We're gonna inhale, dip the right toes down towards the floor. Exhale to lift. Inhale, dip the right toes, and exhale, lift. So just the right leg is gonna go down and up. Again, I'm trying to keep the carriage still by stabilizing with that right leg. Those adductors are working to hold. I'm trying to keep my pelvis still. My sacrum is heavy. I'm dipping down and exhaling as I lift that right leg back up. Now this is the last one. When we come up, we're gonna pause at the top. I'm gonna inhale, reach my right leg out away from me to a challenging level. Exhale to pull back in. Inhale to extend. Again, exhaling as we come back in, drawing those abs in. Again, we should feel those inner thighs working to stabilize us here. Out and exhale, pull for 3, 2, last one. Now hold the leg out. We're gonna kick it up to the ceiling and we're gonna lower it down to the floor. Exhale, lift it up to the ceiling and inhale, lower again. Think engage our obliques. So it's not just the quads and hip flexors working, holding that curl right from our bra line. Inhale down, exhale back up. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, bend the knees, relax our feet, fold over your reformer, take an inhale in this fold, and then exhale, come all the way up. If you need to use your hands, use your hands. Okay, we're taking the strap off of our leg. We're hanging back up onto the peg. And then once we hang it up, we're gonna stand on the floor, rotate to the other side, and then same thing, we're starting with our arms first. So when we kneel, if we scoot closer to our shoulder blocks, it is gonna be lighter. If you scoot closer to your foot bars, it is heavier. Grab this strap right next to you into your left hand. Let's see if I can get it on this side. Long loop light, short loop heavy, there we go. Okay, elbows into your side, 90-degree angle bend, shoulders, hips parallel to the wall in front of us. Ready, we exhale to bring the palm across the body. We inhale to open, the wrist stays long for this whole series. And then our elbow is gonna stay in towards our ribs. We exhale to bring the palm across the body, and then we inhale to open it back out to the side, keeping our torso and our pelvis steady. All right, I'm gonna do 3, Now on my last one, I'm holding my palm across the body. On an inhale, I'm gonna let that elbow go out to the side of the room, and then exhale, bring it back across. Inhale, let it go out, and exhaling as we return, keeping again, or trying to keep that left shoulder down, and then trying not to move our torso when we bring this arm across the body. Nudge that person next to you, and then exhale, bring that palm back across the body. Okay, we're gonna go for 2 more, and then last one. All right, now once we come back, we're gonna pause. We're gonna switch arms. Again, long loop light, short loop heavy. Elbows bent at that 90. The arm is across the body to start. We're working away this time. So we're bringing the palm out towards the side. Try to keep that elbow into your ribs, and then inhale, return. Again, try to keep that long wrist. If we have any injuries, I forgot to say this on the other side, but if we do have any injuries and you need to use your left hand on the rope to assist with this exercise, you can always use your left hand on the rope to assist with this. Exhale, open, inhale, return. Try to keep that elbow in, wrist long. Try not to use your torso to bring that arm out. Let's do 2 and 1. Okay, this next one's a little nicer. The arm stays across the body to start. We're gonna exhale, nudge that person next to you, and then inhale back. Nudging that person next to you, and then again, inhaling as we return, getting back into those biceps, deltoids, traps are firing up as well here. Out and return. I'm gonna do 3 more. And then last one, out and back. Okay, now we're keeping the strap. We're gonna step out in front of us. We're gonna sit on the center of our reformer. The strap goes around, the long loop goes around your left leg above your knee. Scoot your booties all the way forward so you have plenty of space behind you. We're gonna lie ourselves down onto our reformers. Hands behind the head. I'm finding a neutral spine. Again, stability is really gonna come from those adductors here. I'm gonna inhale, dip those left toes down, and then exhale, lift. Hold that curl from the bra line. We inhale to dip down, and again, we exhale to lift back up. That right knee just stays in our tabletop position the entire time. Dip those toes, exhale, again to pull that leg back up with control. Let's do 3, 2, try to engage those obliques. Last one. Now once we come up, we're gonna pause. We're gonna inhale, reach the leg out. Exhale to pull back in, inhale out. Again, exhale as we pull back in as low as you feel comfortable. Again, try to keep those carriages nice and still. I'm gonna do 3 more here with those extensions. 2, and then last one. Now once I come in, I'm gonna just kick my leg straight up to the ceiling. I'm gonna lower it straight down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, straight down, straight up. Hold those curls. Elbows should be open out nice and wide to the sides of the room. We're not bringing our biceps to our ears, so nice wide arms. Okay, we're gonna kick 1 more time down and up, and then we can relax. Okay, set those feet down, fold over, and then we're nodding and we're curling all the way up, using your hands if you need to. Okay, take that strap off of your leg. We are going to keep it. We're gonna sit on our reformers and we're gonna face our straps. Now, once we sit down, back into some arms, legs are gonna go through our shoulder blocks. I am gonna rotate mine just because my legs don't fit comfortably. So if you can rotate them, feel free. Grab your straps back into your hands. Now, tricep extensions. I'm gonna grab onto my short loops. That's gonna make it a little heavier. If you wanna go a little higher, you can. Elbows are going to be into our sides. I want your palms to stay rotated towards each other. They're not gonna rotate to the floor, to the foot bar ever. We're gonna hinge slightly forward in a flat back position. Tricep kickback, so I'm gonna press my palms back and bend, exhale, press, inhale, bend. Again, if you want this a little heavy, you can always grip a little further forward. You can hang on to your straps, you can hang on to your ropes. That is up to you. Stay with that little hinge forward. Think abs are into your backs. Again, elbows stay right into your ribs. Palms stay rotated towards your body. Bend and press. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, now once we come back, stack the spines, rotate our palms to the floor. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna lift our arms straight up to the ceiling, deltoids, traps. Return back down with control. We exhale to go up to the ceiling. We inhale to return back down with control. Every time we lift, make sure that our shoulders are staying down out of our ears. And when we lift, we're not hinging back with our spines. We're just sitting up nice and tall. Lift and lower. I'm going to go ahead and just do 2 more. And last one. Up and down. Okay, relax. I'm going to use my long loops for this next one just to make it a little more challenging. I'm going to scoop my booty just a little further forward. We need to make sure we have at least a palm's width away from us in the back of our carriages. Bend the knees. Heels are going to go into our head rests. We're going to tuck our pelvises, and on an inhale, we're going to roll ourselves down towards our sacrums. We're exhaling to come back up, sitting up nice and tall. Again, I'm going to inhale, tuck, roll down to my sacrum. Exhaling as I sit up nice and tall, back on top of my sits bones for some roll downs. Again, the knees are staying bent for this series. Inhale, tuck, roll back. Exhale to come back up. We want to get the low backs down into the mat. The arms need to stay long the entire time. We're going to go for 2. Exhale up. Now in our last one, we have to hold ourselves down. We exhale to lift our right knee into a tabletop position. We set it down. We exhale, we lift left. We set it down. We're going to keep going, alternating right leg, left leg. Make sure the arms stay long. We keep the tuck of the pelvis. Rather than going into a tabletop position, think pull your knee to your chest so you can get into your obliques just a little more. Exhale up. Inhale back, lift and lower, lift and lower. We're gonna go for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we can come all the way back up. Now, feel free to give yourselves a little stretch. I like butterfly stretch for these, but if you wanna just stretch your legs straight through your headrest, you can stretch them straight through. I like to go bottoms of the feet together, knees open wide. But again, up to you. Now, this next time we go back, we are gonna lift both knees up into a tabletop position. So just make sure you get into that nice, easy to balance J curve with our spine. So we're gonna bend our knees, feet are gonna be back into the headrest. Arms are long. I'm sticking with my long loops. Again, they're going to be a little more challenging. Short loops are easier. Tuck the pelvis, roll into that J curve. So I'm right on my tailbone, right on a little, again, the spine should actually look like a nice little J, keeping the tuck of my pelvis. I'm going to go right knee tabletop pause, left knee tabletop pause. Now from here, we should find it pretty easy to balance. We are going to inhale, dip the toes back down towards our headrest. Exhale, lift the knees back up. Dip the toes, exhale, lift the knees back up. I'm drawing my abs in to my back and I'm trying to keep the carriage still. You don't have to go all the way down to the headrest if you can't get there. Inhale, dip, scoop into those low abs to lift those knees back up. You're gonna give me 4 more. Inhale down, exhale, lift for 3, tuck to come back up for 2, and 1. Okay, once we come back up, we're relaxing the feet. We're hanging our straps back up onto the pegs. Okay, set your feet on the floor. We're doing push-ups. This is one of my favorite ways to do push-ups. If you rotated your shoulder blocks like me, you can unrotate them. Just a reminder for those of you who are shorter, or if you have reformers that are higher off the floor, And then mine, your modification, staying on this red spring, you're gonna walk around to the front of your foot bar. So you're standing in front of your foot bar, and you'll take your hands onto the two front corners of the carriage, and you'll do your push-ups standing on the floor with your hands on the two front corners of the carriage. If you are taller, or if you have a reformer that's lower to the floor, stay here. Hands are gonna go onto your shoulder blocks. Just a quick reminder, if you want it heavier, walk closer to the straps. If you want it lighter, walk back towards the foot bars. We're gonna lift our booties up with our hands on our shoulder blocks. We're gonna push the carriage out so our chest is parallel to the floor. 10 wide push-ups. We bend our elbows wide. We exhale to press wide and press. So again, if you want it heavier, walk your feet a little further forward. Lighter, you're gonna walk a little further back. Abs are in, chest stays parallel to the floor. I have 2 and 1. Okay, then we hold here, elbows into our ribs this time, 10 narrow push-ups. Exhale out, inhale back. So 10 wide and 10 narrow. Make sure those elbows touch your ribs when you come in. Abs are in. I have 3, 2, 1, and then we're back in. Okay, you can sit your booties back down onto your reformers. We're gonna kneel on our carriages, and then once we kneel, I'm gonna take my knees just wider than my shoulder blocks. So if you're standing on the floor, you can come back onto your carriage. You can do the same exercise though, standing on the floor if you wanna stay there. Hands are gonna go onto the frame. I'm gonna walk them out a little bit. And then I'm just gonna drop my chest down in between my arms. I'm gonna keep my butt lifted just because I'm gonna get a deeper stretch here. And we're gonna hold this nice little chest stretch. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, now I'm gonna walk my hands just a tiny bit further back. I'm gonna take my right arm, thread the needle underneath my body. So thread your right arm under, palm is rotated up to the ceiling. I'm gonna take my right shoulder onto my headrest. I'm gonna reach my left arm a little further away. We're gonna hold this stretch again, hips are high. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth again. And then we're gonna switch. Right hand out, left arm threads. We try to bring our left shoulder onto the headrest. Our left palm should be rotated up to the ceiling. And we're holding. Okay, we're gonna come back center. We can just step off to the sides. Once we sit ourselves off to the sides of our reformers, we're gonna keep this one heavy spring on. Our foot bars are gonna stay where they're at. We're gonna go ahead and sit down onto our foot bars. And then once we sit down, I'm just gonna take my edge of my heel / Achilles onto the edge of the carriage. So I'm more like heel Achilles here. And then I'm gonna take my hands onto my foot bar. My palms are gonna be rotated to the wall behind me towards my foot bar, not rotated forward. From here, I'm gonna push my carriage out with my legs. I'm not gonna go to straight legs. I'm gonna keep a little bit of a bend to my knees. And then I'm gonna keep the same shape of my legs as I lift my butt up off the carriage. Again, the legs are pressing you slightly out, your booty's off the carriage. We're gonna do tricep dips, 10 total. They can be big or small, just like your push-ups. We're gonna bend, narrow, press, narrow, press. Again, 10 tricep dips. Inhale, bend, and exhale as we press. It can be big or small. Try to keep your carriages nice and still. I have 3 more, 2, and 1. Okay, Bring the carriage in, sit your booties back down. Take your toes, balls of your feet to the edge of the wooden frame. Knees are gonna go onto our carriages. Hands are gonna go onto our shoulder blocks. Now we are gonna do a plank series with either the feet on the wooden platform or your feet on the foot bar. I will leave it up to you. Obviously foot bar is gonna be a little more challenging. For this series, if your wrists are an issue, you can go down onto your forearms and your headrest rather than staying on your wrists. I'm gonna stay on my wrists, hands are on the shoulder blocks. I'm gonna take my toes, balls of my feet on the wooden platform to start, lift my knees up, stretch my legs out and hold. Now, if you would like to step up to your foot bars, you can go up to your foot bars and you can hold your planks here. We're gonna push the carriage out with our arms, pull in, push out with the arms and in. So it's an inhale to push and an exhale to pull back in. We're gonna do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, carefully step down. Feel free to give yourselves a little stretch back. Now, we are going to add in a lift and a lower of the legs. If you choose to stay on the wooden platform, you're just gonna have to move the foot bars down. Otherwise, your ankle will hit the foot bar. So if you wanna go down on the wooden platform for this next one, foot bars are gonna be down. If you wanna stay up on your foot bar with me, keep your foot bar up. We're gonna take your hands back onto, again, the shoulder blocks or down onto your forearms for your wrist's sake. We're gonna lift back up into our planks. I'm gonna step my feet back to my foot bar. Okay, legs long, abs and butts down. This time when we push the carriage out, we lift the right leg off the foot bar. We set it back down when we come in, then we go left leg and in. So every time we push, we lift one leg up and we return back down. Find that stability in your core. Out, in, out, in. 3, 2, 1, and carefully step down. Whew. Feel free to give yourselves a little bit of a stretch. If you need to roll at your wrists, give those wrists a little bit of a roll. Now we are going to step back off to the sides of our reformers. We're gonna rotate one more time towards our foot bars. And then again, we're staying on this one red spring. If you took your foot bars down for that last series, just make sure they go back up to the starting position. Feet are gonna be up against the shoulder blocks. I'm gonna take my hands back onto my foot bar. Thumbs is always with the fingers. Hands are nice and wide. We're gonna do a little knee stretch. So I'm gonna shift my butt back towards my heels. I'm gonna be about 2-ish fist distance away from my heels with my butt. And then from here, I'm just gonna tuck my pelvis. I'm gonna round through my spine, so a nice C shape of my spine. Now my arms and my spine are gonna try to stay in the same spot. My knees are gonna push the carriage out, and then I'm gonna tuck my pelvis round through my spine to come back in. So I'm gonna push out with the knees and I'm gonna pull back in. The idea is that your core is working to pull the knees back in and not this spring. So it's an inhale to push out, exhale, tuck your pelvis, scoop into your abs to pull back in. Think about that because that's gonna come into play when we make these a little more challenging. So this is our warm up. We're gonna go for 2, exhale to pull in, last one out, and exhale in. Okay, now think, same shape of our spine, our butt's about 2-ish fist distance away from our heels, but this time we're gonna add in a lift of the knees. If you don't feel comfortable, keep the knees down. If you do, we're gonna lift the knees slightly up, hold. I'm a few inches off the carriage. We go out with the legs, exhale, tuck, pull in. Inhale out, exhale in. My arms are pushing my carriage slightly out. I'm tucking my pelvis, rounding through my spine to bring in. I'm shaking here. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, now once we come down, we're gonna shift our hips and our butt forward. Hands are gonna stay on the foot bar. Shoulders are down, our chest is reaching through our arms. Down stretch, ready? We're gonna push the carriage out with our arms, and we're gonna pull in with the arms. So now the knees and the pelvis don't move. The arms push away. When we come in, we're reaching our chest. we're reaching our chest through our arms, to come back in. Inhale away, and exhale, pull range of motion up 2. Shoulders are down, collarbones are staying nice and wide. Let's do 3 more for this down stretch. Inhale, push. Exhale to pull back in for 2. And then last one, out and in. Okay, feet into our headrest, knees open wide, booty back, chest down in between the arms. Hold yourself here. If you want to get off of your wrists and just allow your carriage to come in, you can get off of your wrists and let your carriages come in. Hold this stretch. Okay, let's take one more deep inhale, one more deep exhale. And then on that exhale, we can just sit ourselves off to the sides. We are all finished with that class. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much as always for joining me today.